Very good morning, ninth class. Today we will cover DG class for your Geography Chapter 2 Physical Features of India. ठीक है, तो हम जो है DG क्लास के हेल्प से और बहुत अच्छे तरीके से समझ जाएंगे जितने भी हमारे जो हैं अलग अलग लैंड फॉर्म्स हैं. ठीक है, अलग अलग जो फीचर्स हैं हमारी कंट्री के. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको बहुत इजीली जो है समझ में आ जाएंगी कौन कौन से हिमालयन माउंटेन की अलग अलग रेंजेस हैं. ठीक है, प्लेट्यूज हैं, उन सब के बारे में. तो स्टार्ट करते हैं हम अपने डीजी क्लास को.
What do you think is happening here? Geological actions such as earthquakes, volcanoes, and erosional activity have resulted in the formation of physical features. As we observed in the previous film, physical features are formed due to various geological actions such as earthquakes, volcanoes, and so on. Natural processes such as weathering, erosion, and deposition also create and modify physical features. Most geological actions are caused when there is a movement in the Earth's crust. According to the theory of plate tectonics, as put forth by a German scientist, Alfred Wegener, the Earth's crust is covered by 7 major and some minor tectonic plates. When two plates move horizontally past each other, they form a transform boundary. The heat from the asthenosphere below the crust causes the tectonic plates to move. Broadly, these plate movements are classified into 3 types based on the boundaries that they form. When two plates move towards each other, one plate moves below the other, forming a convergent boundary. When two plates move away from each other, they form a divergent boundary. Space in between these plates is filled by molten magma from the asthenosphere. When two tectonic plates move horizontally past each other, they form a transform boundary. The current positioning of the continents in the world is a result of tectonic plate movement over millions of years. About 250 million years ago, the continents were present as one huge landmass. This ancient supercontinent is called Pangaea. About 200 million years ago, Pangaea broke up to form 2 large landmasses called the Angara land and the Gondwana land. Angara land was the ancient name given to the Eurasian plate. Gondwana land included India, Australia, South Africa, and South America. About 70 million years ago, the Indian plate broke away from Gondwana land and started drifting towards the north till it joined the Eurasian plate about 10 million years ago. The Indo-Australian plate continues to move till today at the rate of 67 millimeters per year below the Tibetan Plateau, thus forcing the plateau to rise upwards. India has varied physical features which were formed due to various geological actions. These features can be classified into 6 major physiographic divisions: the Himalayan Mountains, Northern Plains, Peninsula Plateau, Indian Desert, Coastal Plains, and Islands. Hello, children. I'm Sean, a mountaineer. I wish to do some mountaineering in your country. Can you suggest some famous mountain? What is the most important mountain range in India? Share your answers with the class. After the discussion, click the continue button. The Himalayas are the most important mountain ranges in India. Do you know how the Himalayas were formed? About 200 million years ago, the Tethys Sea lay between Angara land and Gondwana land. About 70 million years ago, when the Indian plate collided with the Eurasian plate. The sediments deposited on the Tethys Sea got crushed and folded to form the Himalayan Mountains. The Himalayas are the world's youngest and tallest fold mountain ranges. They are still growing at the rate of about 2 inches a year. The Himalayan Mountains are one of the major physiographic divisions of India. Himalaya means the abode of snow. The Himalayas run in a west-east direction from Ganga Parbat in Jammu and Kashmir to Namcha Barwa in Arunachal Pradesh. The Himalayas consist of 3 parallel ranges in their longitudinal extent. They are the Great or Inner Himalayas, the Lesser Himalayas, and the Outer Himalayas. This is the northernmost and highest range of the Himalayas, known as the Himadri. The peaks in this range are asymmetrical in nature. They are perennially snow-bound. Hence, this range is extremely cold in summer as well as winter. This region also receives a high amount of precipitation. The extreme cold weather does not support any life forms. However, this range attracts mountaineers from around the world with its lofty peaks such as Mount Everest, K2, Kanchenjunga, Nanga Parbat, Nanda Devi, and Annapurna. Mount Everest is the highest elevation point on Earth. The Lesser Himalayas, which is situated towards the south of the Himalayas, is known as the Himachal. This region is composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. Though there is snowfall during winter, summers are cool and pleasant. These climatic conditions favor the existence of thick forests of pine, oak, deodar, and fir trees. Lower slopes are grassy and may contain orchards and tea plantations. This region contains the longest and most important range called the Pir Panjab. Other prominent ranges are the Dhauladhar and the Mahabharat. The Himachal range also contains famous valleys, such as the Valley of Kashmir, the Kangra Valley, and the Kullu Valley. It also contains famous hill stations such as Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Almora, and Darjeeling. The outer Himalayas form the outermost range of the Himalayas and are called the Shivaliks. This region is composed of sediments brought down by rivers from the Himalaya and Himachal ranges. The valleys contain thick gravel and alluvium. This region experiences subtropical climate, which favors the growth of dense vegetation. Land in this area is used for growing crops such as rice, potatoes, and maize. The longitudinal valleys lying between the Himachal and the Shivaliks, known as dunes, are famous here. Dehradun, Kotli Dun, and Patli Dun are some of the well-known dunes. The northern plain is the most agriculturally productive and densely populated physiographic division of India. This is because of the high fertility of the soil in this plain. Let us now see how this fertile plain was formed. The three major river systems, the Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra, carry a huge amount of silt from the Himalayas through which they flow. They deposit this silt, called alluvium, in the vast basin at the foothills of the Himalayas. The intense fertility of the alluvium makes the basin fertile. This fertile basin is called the Northern Plain. It is also called a depositional plain, as it is formed from the deposits made by rivers. The northern plain covers an area of over 7 lakh square kilometers. It is bound by the Himalayas in the north and the Vindhyas in the south. As the northern plain is very vast, its climate does not remain the same in all places. The western side of the plain is generally very hot, dry, and dusty. The eastern side receives heavy rainfall during the monsoon and is generally cool and pleasant. The Punjab Plane is formed by the Indus and its tributaries. A major portion of this plain lies in Pakistan. This plain is mostly covered by doabs, which means land lying in between two converging rivers. Do you know the names of the doabs lying between the Indus and its tributaries? Share your knowledge with the rest of the class. Click the Continue button to proceed. The Ganga Plane is formed by the alluvial deposits of the Ganga and its tributaries. This plain covers parts of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. The Brahmaputra Plain is formed by the alluvial deposits of the Brahmaputra and its tributaries. This plain lies in Assam. Apart from being classified based on rivers, the northern plain is also classified into regions based on its relief features. Though a major part of the northern plain contains flat land, about 1/4 of the land contains various relief features created by the Himalayan rivers. The Himalayan rivers descend from the mountains and deposit pebbles in a narrow belt parallel to the slope of the Himalayas. This belt is called the Barber Belt. To the south of this belt, the rivers create a swampy and marshy region called the Terrai Region. A larger portion of the northern plain is formed out of older alluvium and contains calcareous deposits known as kanker. This terrace-like feature is known as bhangar. The newer and younger deposits of the floodplains are called khadar. Fertile soil, adequate water supply, and favorable climate have made the northern plain agriculturally very productive. The features of the northern plain have promoted the growth and development of an excellent network of roads and railways. Many old cities such as Patna, Kolkata, Varanasi, and Delhi have been built on the banks of the rivers that flow here. Due to this, the northern plain is called the cradle of civilization. The northern plain provides livelihood for over 40% of India's population. It was also the home of many great people such as Buddha, Ashoka, Akbar, and Guru Nanak. Did you know that the Peninsula Plateau is the oldest landmass in India? The Peninsula Plateau was formed when the Indian plate broke away from the ancient Gondwana land and joined the Eurasian plate about 10 million years ago. Recall your knowledge about plateaus from previous classes and share your ideas with the class. Click the Continue button after the discussion. A plateau is an area of flat land that rises sharply above the neighboring lowland. It is also called tableland. The Plateau region of India extends from the south of the northern plain till the southern tip of India and is called the Peninsula Plateau. The Peninsula Plateau is composed of old crystalline, igneous, and metamorphic rocks. These rocks absorb the heat during summer and make the surrounding regions very hot. Thus, the entire plateau is very hot during summer. The winter is cool and pleasant in most regions, except higher altitude regions which get extremely cold. The Narmada River divides the Peninsula Plateau into two broad divisions, namely the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The Central Highlands lie to the north of River Narmada. It is bounded by the Chota Nagpur Plateau in the east, the Vindhya Range in the south, and the Aravalli Range in the west. The Central Highlands are wider in the west and narrower in the east. The eastward extensions of the Central Highlands are called the Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. The Central Highlands include two major plateaus, the Malwa Plateau in the northwest and the Chota Nagpur Plateau in the northeast. The Malwa Plateau has fine black soil, which is ideal for growing cotton and oilseeds. It is drained by the rivers Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken, and Son. The Chota Nagpur Plateau has large deposits of minerals like coal, iron, manganese, bauxite, and mica. It is drained by the river Damodar. Here's a quick recap of the major features of the Malwa Plateau and the Chota Nagpur Plateau. After going through the table, click the Continue button to proceed. The Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of River Narmada. The word Deccan comes from the Sanskrit word Dakshin, which means south. The Deccan Plateau is also called the Telangana Plateau. It is bounded by the Satpura Range in the north, the Eastern Ghats in the east, and the Western Ghats in the west. The Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and slopes gently eastwards. The Mahadev, the Kaimur Hills, and the Maikal Range form the eastern extensions of the Deccan Plateau. The northwestern part of the Deccan Plateau, called the Deccan Trap, was formed due to the perennial flow of lava resulting from various volcanic eruptions. It occupies the whole of Maharashtra and parts of Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh.